are celebrating the graduation day ceremony for two batches of BTech and MTech passing out in academic year 2019-20 and 2020-21.
It is said that confidence for fulfilling professional commitments in one's life. So I once again welcome all the dignitaries, invited guests, alumni, my colleagues and students, their parents to this beautiful and memorable evening. So let us begin our graduation day ceremony.
स्वरदे श्री शारदे स्वरदे श्री शारदे स्वरदे श्री शारदे स्वरदे श्री शारदे.
One of the oldest and premier engineering institutes in India, with a rich history.
आजच्या कार्यक्रमासाठी प्रमुख पाहुणे म्हणून उपस्थित असलेले आपल्या युनिव्हर्सिटीचे व्हाईस चान्सलर साहेब, आपल्या कॉलेजचे डायरेक्टर, बाकीचे उपस्थित असलेले सर्व प्रमुख आणि खास करून या समारंभासाठी उपस्थित असलेले आणि ज्यांनी नाविन्यपूर्ण पद्धतीने आपल्या हुशारीनं आपल्या कर्तृत्वानं या ठिकाणी मिळवलेले सगळे विद्यार्थी, त्यांचे पालक, आई वडील, बंधू भगिनी. कार्यक्रमाला व्हाईस चान्सलर साहेब आलेत आणि मी जजचा कार्यक्रम थोडा उशीर करून साहेबांना भेटून निघणार आहे. तुमच्या आणि व्हाईस चान्सलर साहेबांच्या मध्ये फार वेळ थांबणार नाही. पण सर म्हणतात की ज्यांची मुलं कर्तृत्वान निघतात ते आईबाप जगामध्ये सुखी असतात. आणि इथं असलेले जे पालक आहेत त्यांच्या चेहऱ्यावरचा जो आनंद आहे तो खऱ्या अर्थाने त्या विद्यार्थ्यांनी अतिशय चांगल्या पद्धतीनं यश मिळवलं आहे. त्यांचं मनापासून मी अभिनंदन करतो. या कार्यक्रमाला मनापासून शुभेच्छा देतो. आपण आलात, आपलंही स्वागत करतो आणि या सगळ्या कार्यक्रमाला माझ्या शुभेच्छा या देऊन या ठिकाणी मी थांबतो. जय हिंद, जय महाराष्ट्र.
Now, moving further with our graduation day ceremony, I request our Honorable Director Sir, Dr. P.H. Sawant Sir, to felicitate our today's chief guest, Vice Chancellor of Shivaji University, Dr. D.T. Shirke Sir. Let's have a big round of applause for our today's chief guest.
Now, I request our director, Dr. P.H. Sawant sir, to welcome today's guests, parents, students for the ceremony.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Walchand family, Shri Ajit Gulabchand, Shri Sanjay Kaka, who had just left the hall, faculty of Walchand College of Engineering, and staff, support staff of the institute. We welcome you all to this function. You must have seen that our faculty has trained your child or ward for last 4 years. Some of them, they may be working in industry, or they might have started their own business, or maybe pursuing some higher studies. Be sure that 25 years down the line, your child will bring laurel to you and the institute. I'm really thankful to Dr. D.T. Shirke that despite his busy schedule, in fact, he set aside one assignment. I know that today 4 o'clock he had some assignment, but he set aside that assignment and now he is here. So I am really thankful to Dr. D.T. Shirke. Let us welcome him with a great round of applause. One more thing, he went to exam section. He has seen the assessment pattern and the work, the way exam section of our institute works. I hope he must have been satisfied the way assessment and grading is done in our institute. The program which we wanted to conduct in the beginning of the month of January, we could not conduct because of COVID. The circular was to cancel all the programs from the state authorities. Subsequently, we tried going for artificial AI recorded program, and few minutes ago, Honorable Vice Chancellor has inaugurated that link and the program is live. We have tried to match his speech with the timing of the actual pre-recorded program. So let us not waste, I don't want to waste time. As Sanjay Kaka rightly said, this occasion, giving lengthy speeches will not be interesting. So on behalf of Walchand family, I wish all the award winners and their parents very best of luck and congratulations. This award is a motivation for you to win so many awards. Winning award is not important. Being a cultured human with sound technical knowledge is what we are striving for. And I'm sure you will pass on this test throughout your life. So again, best wishes and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Moving forward, we will now be listening to an insightful message by the renowned industrialist, educationist, and chairman, Administrative Council of Walchand College of Engineering, Sangli, Honorable Shri Ajit Gulabchand sir. Speaking about Shri Ajit Gulabchand, he is chairman and managing director of Hindustan Construction Company Limited. He serves as chairman and managing director of Hindustan Construction Company, and also he heads many other group of companies. He is also the part of Chairman Board of Governance at National Institute of Construction Management and Research. The scion of Walchand family, Shri Ajit Gulabchand, took the charge of Hindustan Construction Company Limited, that is HCC, as managing director in 1983 and as a chairman subsequently in the year 1994. Shri Ajit Gulabchand has spearheaded the transformation of HCC. With Shri Ajit Gulabchand's endeavors, HCC has created many landmark infrastructure projects and has become an acknowledged leader in the engineering and construction sector of the country. So without any further ado, let's now listen to his insightful message. Can we have the video, please?
Vice Chancellor of Shivaji University, guests of honor, distinguished members of the faculty of Walchand Engineering College, my dear students. We meet after a very long time, and that too virtually, for the graduation day. This has been a terrible period for all of us, not only in India but around the world. A period during which death, disease, economic disturbance, all kinds of things that should not be happening, happened to us. But we have all come out quite well despite all the difficulties and are able to conduct ourselves and continue our education at your college. And you have reached finally the graduation day, which in this intervening period has also got merged with the convocation day that the university has. So, welcome to this convocation and graduation day. It's a very special day for you, particularly because education is about preparing people for life, and then they can go out into the world and use what they have learned to earn, to be able to build something wonderful, to contribute to society in a very meaningful way and a concrete way. So this day is very important. You move from just the learning phase to now henceforth the application phase, but as knowledge continues to grow very fast, knowledge continues to change from time to time, you will never be able to really leave school or college, because you have to come back to colleges, come back to seminars, come back to development centers and gather new knowledge on the same subjects in order to carry out your work in life. So it is going to be a continuous process of learning, continuous process of understanding what new things have come and how do they apply to my profession, and what can I learn more from them so that I can contribute and contribute better than I did before, bring better results, better outcomes than I did before. It's a very important feature of learning and teaching learning, that students interact with the faculty, with each other, in order to discuss the very subjects that they are learning, the issues that the subjects relate to, and then come to their own conclusions in different ways in order to be able to learn the subject that you are tackling. In this context, there are a few important things that all students must take back with them and go on to building their careers, whether they do it as their own businesses, whether it is an employee, whether it's a serious engineering design job, or it could be also a new area which has now come up, the part of the digital world. Your engineering knowledge would be also useful in the digital world as well. So these are some of the important features that you will have to understand and continue to grow with using them as tools in order to learn and to improve your learning to make the better contribution. First important thing that you need to understand is that all of us here follow a profession, join an institution which is created for serving a need of society. You therefore have to excel in providing that need if you wish to remain competitive, if you wish to remain relevant. And therefore, You must continuously go through a continuous learning process on one side and focus on your job in a manner that it keeps on improving with every passing day. And that your contribution is more productive, it's better quality, and you're able to provide the same things to society a lot cheaper. The second most important thing is that if you wish to be a confident member of the society that is providing all this, you need to understand that first thing important is to be able to gain the trust of society. And trust comes only with one important feature, as Hippocrates, the great Greek, who put down in his oath for medical profession, first do no harm. That is, do not do any willful harm. You can sometimes step on somebody's toes accidentally, but you should not step on it purposefully. The whole lesson in this is that when you're dealing with people, they must recognize that you will not cause them willful harm. It's only there that the beginnings of trust. Trust gets created by the assurance that you will not do knowing harm. So first do no harm is a very important tenet that you must carry with yourself to society and apply it to whichever environment you are working in, whosoever you are working with, whomsoever you are working for. And that's a very important feature. Another important issue that you will be confronted in is that the world that you were looking at in your college and dreaming about going out there tomorrow to work had a slightly dreamlike quality. The real world is a lot tougher than you can imagine. But what is extraordinary about this world is that it is not only tougher, it is not fair, it imposes many obstacles because countries have to run, they have to make laws, they have to regulate, they place upon you the obligation of compliances which become burdensome. A whole lot of it would seem that you are continuously faced with obstacles. In order to carry out your work, you have to cross these obstacles, sometimes crush these obstacles, but get to where you want to go. Now, the real world is therefore going to be far more difficult, and you will recall with great fondness the wonderful years you had in school and college when you did this. The good news against this tough background of real life is that you are born here in India. You're also born in a period where huge innovation is taking place. A huge change is coming about constantly, and you need to be part of that change. That provides you with the opportunity to be able to add to this innovation and therefore do your best. And you've got to be so good that you make the difference. Don't do anything just for the sake of doing it. Do it with the pleasure of knowing that I am going to make the difference. And I'm going to improve on whatever I'm doing today, whatever I have been entrusted with, so that I can create a better outcome for everybody. Now this may sound like a motherhood, but it's a very essential part of continuously growing in your work and job. And that if you have to be contributory and recognized as so, trusted as somebody that they can rely upon to deliver, as well as making sure that you have the requisite knowledge to do what you are going to do and what is demanded of you, then you must follow these few tenets, which is a very critical aspect of your very existence in the real world. Does it mean that there will be no obstacles to this? There will be a lot of allurances where people will allure you from your basic task. There will be temptations to cut the road short and find a shortcut. And then you will find slowly that all these diversions will make you fail. It is therefore important for you to understand that there are no shortcuts. There are no shortcuts. This is what Aristotle told Alexander when he was teaching him. So this important issue we must understand, that there are no shortcuts. So do your job well, do it thoroughly, study it correctly, outline what you want to do, why you want to do it, what are the objectives, and apply your mind sincerely to delivering those objectives. Another great event that is happening in the world is India today needs a huge amount of infrastructure. Infrastructure so large that the figures that they talk about every year get dated, and a bigger figure appears that we must do $5 trillion in the next 5 years. We should do $10 trillion thereafter, and then you should do 20 trillion. It just goes on increasing. Immense amount of infrastructure that is required. And digitized world is a new kind of infrastructure that has again got added to the normal infrastructure that you need. Like you need physical infrastructure, social infrastructure like education, medicine, and then you have now digital infrastructure, which like electricity has become a backbone of our society. No society functions without it. Even the armed forces around the world have started adding cyber command, because so essential is that cyberspace to the existence of even defense, that there could be special attacks designed to cripple your cyber capabilities. And therefore you need to have a cyber command to protect it. So when you look at the expansion of the definition of what constitutes infrastructure, that you have, the opportunities are immense. You would never be without a job. Even in the most trying and difficult times, you have now acquired a skill that will always give you a job. The extra work and the task that is on hand ahead of you, for which you were trained here, for which you must go out and do, is to do it better, faster, cheaper. And for that you must apply your mind constantly to the task on hand, constantly learning new ways of doing things, constantly keeping in mind this pandemic, and yet within the shortest possible time, our pharmacological companies produced a vaccine that came to save us from this disease. You can imagine, 100 years ago, so many more millions died as a result of a pandemic. But today, because of technology, because of the resilience of the humankind, we are in a position to fight this much better, even though we were not prepared for it. And now, next time it happens, we'll probably be better prepared for it. And that advancement of humankind has helped us to be where we are. So while there is a sadness in what happened, there's also a harbinger of great hope that we can cope with such things and deliver better results than ever before done. And that is the strength of man, that is the strength of a very healthy, knowledgeable, fit citizen that can tackle issues in life. Well, it's a wonderful day. Enjoy this day, because from here you part company with your naive school days, and you now go on to the real world. So all I can say to you is, all the best, my friends, all the best, and may you all find a place in the sun. Thank you very much.
We all here are very grateful to have a video message of Dr. Padma Vibhushan Raghunath Anand Mashalkar sir. Dr. Raghunath Mashalkar is an Indian chemical engineer born in village Mashal in Goa and brought up in Maharashtra. He is former Director General of the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research CSIR. He was the President of Indian National Science Academy, President of Institution of Chemical Engineers, and also the President of Global Research Alliance. 44 global universities have bestowed honorary doctorates upon him. Dr. Mashalkar is probably best known to the common man through his crusade against US patent on turmeric, neem, and basmati rice. Throughout his career, he has written 25 books, 284 research papers, and has been honored by the plethora of awards, the most significant being the Padma Vibhushan, the Padma Bhushan, the Padma Shri, the Business Week Star of Asia Award, the Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Prize of Science and Technology. He is the third Indian engineer to be inducted as a Fellow of Royal Society UK and first Indian engineer to be elected as a Fellow of National Academy of Inventors US. He has been a member of Scientific Advisory Council of Prime Minister. So let's now listen to Dr. Raghunath Anand Mashalkar, sir.
Can we have the video, please?
Shri Ajit Gulabchand, the Chairman of Board of Governors, Shri Sanjay Kaka Patil, Professor D.T. Shirke, Professor P.B. Sawant, distinguished faculty, young graduates of the day, their proud parents, ladies and gentlemen. May I say, first of all, what a great pleasure, great honor, what a great privilege it is to have been invited to join you in these celebrations. Walchand Engineering College in Sangli has completed a glorious journey of 75 years in which they have contributed to the nation building, I would say the engineering of the future of our nation, if I may put it this way, through the number of graduates that they have provided in diverse fields, practically all branches of engineering. So I want to congratulate the founders of this great institution. I want to congratulate the faculty, the leadership, and also the alumni who have done us proud. And you have a great list of alumni. I was looking at the list, someone like Leena Nair, for example. I remember in Hindustan Lever Board, I was a member, and she was actually handling the HR, the human resource sort of department, and an outstanding lady. And look at such a young age, she becomes the first female, first Asian to become the Chief Executive Officer of Channel. Or look at Sadanand Joshi. There is what is called as the H.K. Firodi Award in Science and Technology in Pune. And we invite sort of top people like Dr. Kalam and a whole range of people. And 3 years ago, we invited Dr. Sadanand Joshi. And why did we do that? Because if you can see, his work in horizontal drilling and hydraulic fracturing basically created sort of a completely new era in shale gas, and America, which was just an importer of fuel, started actually exporting. I'm just giving 2 examples, and you have produced number of such alumni. So I think there is something that you can look back with a great pride on what you have achieved. And this is a good time also to think we have had 75 years of journey. Now, what about the next 25 years? It is very interesting that the founders thought it wise to establish this great engineering college at the time of independence, 1947. So therefore, your journey of 75 years coincides with India's journey in the post-freedom era of 75 years, like we are celebrating the Amrit Mahotsav with great pride. So that's a great coincidence indeed. So first of all, I want to wish you all the very best for a glorious, not only the decade, but next 20, 25 years when you will be celebrating the century of this great institution. I want to congratulate graduates of the day who will getting the degrees today. And I want to congratulate their parents equally, because education is the best gift that parents could have sort of given. And why do I say that? There was a discussion in terms of what is the most powerful equation that was ever there. Because I'm a scientist, so you would expect me to start the lecture with maybe an equation. So let me sort of not disappoint you on that. And I remember somebody asked, what is the most powerful equation ever developed? And somebody said, of course, Newton's second law, force equal to mass into acceleration, F equal to ma. And then somebody said, no, it is Einstein, E equal to mc square. And when they turned to me, I said, not Newton, not Einstein, it is actually E equal to F. So they wondered, what is E, what is F? And I said, E is education and F is future. Education is the future. No education, no future. And therefore, I want to congratulate our Walchand Engineering College for imparting education, the parents for supporting education, because that is where we are going to sort of build the future. And of course, I can say that an institution can't build the future of the young, but they can build the young for the future. They can prepare them for the future. And we have to think of the future, because that is where we are going to spend the rest of our life, as somebody has said. And there are a number of challenges in the years to come. हे बरोबर होत आहे ना? Is that okay? Just तुम्हाला थोडं एडिट करावं लागेल इथे. मी जरा हे चॅनल चेंज करतोय. Okay. So, if we look at the future, there are going to be a number of challenges. I think the first is, it's a VUCA word. What is VUCA? Volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. Now, you can see this right now. For example, we had COVID-19, and it has created a huge destruction of lives, of livelihoods, and then we are trying to recover. But at the same time, rather than just recovering, we have to reinvent ourselves, reimagine ourselves, and create a new India of our dreams. Look at the current situation in Ukraine, for example. Now, we have nothing to do with it, but it is affecting us. As a matter of fact, the oil prices are shooting up, inflation will shoot up, and the rest of it, etc. So when I say volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous, our students have to be trained to be resilient so that they can, as a matter of fact, deal with this. And I'm very happy that our college, Walchand Engineering College, has given those skills that are necessary for entering into this tough world and finding it out. If you see the way things have changed, because after all, we create engineers for the industry, but industry itself is not the same. Industry is changing. I mean, we had Industry 1.0, if you remember, it started with steam-powered machinery, right? Then came Industry 2.0, which replaced steam and water by electricity. Then came Industry 3.0, where the information technology revolution actually helped. But now we are talking about Industry 4.0. Which is in the cyber physical space. And therefore, you will find that there are big changes that are coming up in the industry itself. If you see, for example, society and the global trend, there is again a change. For example, there is an increasing nationalism. Basically, we talked about globalization. We had given the mantra to the rest of the world, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, but you can quite clearly see now, each nation is saying, I will take care of myself, all right? Then there is the demand for sustainable planet. We are very concerned about climate change, and we are wanting not only growth, but sustainable growth. We want green growth, and therefore that's a new challenge. And similarly, there is a rapid adoption of what are called as exponential technologies. The fact that I'm reaching out to you via this media, which is something we would not have conceived about 5 years ago, is itself an indication. And what are those exponential technologies? For example, big data analytics, artificial intelligence, IoT, Internet of Things, 3D printing, mobile internet, blockchain, and so on and so forth. So these exponential technologies are also going to make a huge difference to the society. And you could see in COVID, for example, you had a dramatic shift in terms of the way we work, the way we studied, and so on. And therefore, when I talk about the future, I always say it is determined by 3 Ds. First is digitalization. The second is decentralization. And third is decarbonization. Okay, 3 Ds. Now you can see the digitalization, the fact that I'm sort of talking to you all through this particular medium. You look at decentralization, yes. Rather than gathering in the school or college, the students were studying from home. That is decentralized school, isn't it? Where the house itself became a classroom. That is decentralization. Work from home. We started working from home, not going to the office. That itself is a decentralization. And that leads to decarbonization, because then you are not driving your cars, you're not driving your scooters, and so on and so forth. So that is what is the new change. I think so. First of all, when I said that the students have to be prepared for the future, the first thing I wanted to say was that we have to prepare ourselves for the changing world, the new world. That's the first point. The second point is that when it comes to education, there are 3 things I like to highlight. The first is right to education. The second is right education. And the third is right way of education. Let me explain. The first is right to education. And of course, India has done well in that. But what happened during the pandemic? Pandemic, you saw, for example, I remember last year in June, the number of stories about students committing suicide. Why? Because they could not do online learning. Why? Because their parents could not provide the mobile devices to them. All right? From Satara, I remember one girl committed suicide all around the country, basically. So, that right to education now means you have to have digital right to education. You know, previously, I still remember, I was born in a very poor family. My father died when I was 6. I walked barefoot until I was 12. I studied under street lights. And I could study only because of a Tata scholarship of 60 rupees per month. Okay, but I was happy with that 60 rupees per month, and I could study because I could buy the textbooks and so on. Today, that 60 rupees will not be adequate. I must have digital access. I must have connectivity. I must have devices. And therefore, it is very important to recognize that digital right to education is very important. And therefore, the new education policy 2020, Maharashtra government had set up a committee under my chairmanship. The report has been given to the government and has been accepted by the cabinet. And one of the provisions in that particular report, and I'm very delighted that our very enlightened Chief Minister, Shri Uddhavji Thackeray, is going to, as a matter of fact, chair the actual committee which will look at the implementation of the report. And within that report, we have talked about digital right to education, how every student has to be given sort of access and making it a responsibility of the state, because this is fundamental. Like we say, roti, kapda, makan is a must for a livelihood. Similarly, internet is a must and internet access is a must. So when it comes to right to education, this is very important. And I must make a side remark, by the way. You can see today we are all concerned about what is happening in Ukraine, and the medical, students who went for medical education there are stuck there, and it's pathetic. One of the students actually died, and then now there is a big discussion as to why did they have to go to Ukraine. And one of the students who was shot had 97% of marks, and still he had to go there. Why? Because we are short of seats. Somehow or the other, we must have abundance of institutions which can impart medical education. And from that perspective, I must say India has done very well in engineering, basically. Both public as well as private institutions have basically come. So right to education is a must, because education is a future. If you deny that right, you are denying the right to build their future and in turns nation's future. The second part is right education. What do I mean by right education? After all, by education and learning and doing, you prepare yourself for jobs. And those jobs will be in the future. But an expert was recently saying that the children who are in school today, in senior school, senior classes, 2/3 of them will end up in jobs which don't exist today. Why? Because all these exponential technologies like advanced automation, robotics, AI, etc., they are displacing men with machine. All right? So there are new jobs that are going to come. Now tell me, how do we actually prepare students for the jobs which do not exist? That's going to be the challenge. And then how do you deal with complexity is the first one. The second is critical thinking. Third is creativity. Fourth is emotional intelligence. You know, I always say innovation, compassion, and passion. Innovation up here, important. All right? So the concern for the society, for the human being, I always say engineer without empathy is no engineer. All right? So that quality has to be built. And then cognitive flexibility, because you need to be adaptable and so on. So therefore, when we look at the students that are coming out, we have to ask ourselves. We test them in mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, thermodynamics, what is this, what is that law, etc., etc. But equally important, we have to understand that ability is very important, but attitude as well as aptitude, they are all important. All three A's are important. So we focus a lot on developing ability, but the rest of it, so it is all, education is all about learning, doing and being. Now learning you can do digital, but doing you have to do with your own hands, work. But being a part of the society, basically, the human interaction, the relationships, basically are very, very important. If I were to simplify, I would say there are two things. One is mind and another one is mindset. Mindset is a kind of attitude, and mind is, you understand. And there is a lot that has been written about engineering, and I'm focusing on engineering because we are a college of engineering. So when it comes to the mind of an engineer, I mean, there is a wonderful book. And there are two things that separate. One is the habits of mind, and second is engineering habits of mind. The two are different, by the way. Now, what are the habits of mind? Curiosity. That's the first one. All right? Einstein, for example, had said, the only thing that distinguishes me is my curiosity. Second is open-mindedness. Okay? Open to all ideas. They say parachute works only when it is open. Mind is also like that. It works only when it is open. Third is resourcefulness. If you don't have resources, if you are resourceful, you can basically take the nation forward. I mean, there are nations without resource. For example, Singapore. What resource did it have? but it is a leading nation today. All right, so resourcefulness. Then reflection, your ability sort of think back. Then resilience has become very, very critical. Why do I say that suddenly something happens, the war happens, the COVID happens, this happens, that happens, all right, and still you stand. You stand for, all right? You don't collapse. Now, for that, you have to have adaptability, agility, a resilient way of thinking, for example. So designing, how do you think about that? I will give you one good example of this, which is Reliance. R in Reliance stands for resilience. And how do they do that? There is a resilient thinking. I remember Dhirubhai Ambani, when he wanted to set up a refinery in Jamnagar, the consultant came and said, for what specification of the crude I should design it? He said, what specifications? He said, what do you mean? I should be able to process dirt on one hand and the best finest crude on the other hand. They said, but there is no refinery like this in the world. They said, no, I want to be the first. The fact that there is none, that does not mean anything. And today, Reliance processes, there's the only refinery in the world which can process 200 crudes. And therefore, know what happens to the oil scenario. You will find their margins are the highest. This is called resilient thinking and designing. That's what engineers have to do. Then, of course, ethical, as I said, ethical approach. And finally, it is cooperation, collaboration. And that collaboration is not just between man and machine. All right? We won't be talking about robots. We'll be talking about cobots. So I don't like this dialogue about man versus machine and so on and so forth. It has to be man and machine. It is not this or that. It is this and that. We have to. So these are habits of mind. But then what are the engineering habits of mind? Engineering habits means, first of all, visualizing. Secondly, analyzing. Third, improving. I think you keep on improving, isn't it? I mean, telephone of the earlier years and now mobile. You could see what change just taken place. Then adapting, and I mentioned about that. Then there is a systems thinking. All right, that means you have to look at the big word, what are the changes, and have a systems approach. And then finding the right problems to solve. And we have to always work on problems that need to be solved, rather than those can be solved. And there are plenty of them, basically. And then creative way of problem solving. This is engineering. So I'm distinguishing the two, the habits of mind, as well as the engineering habits of mind. And what makes engineers special is this ability to solve. There is a Nobel Prize in science, Nobel Prize in chemistry, Nobel Prize in physics, etc. You are aware of that. It's $1 million prize. Similarly, there is a Nobel Prize in engineering. It is called Queen Elizabeth Prize of Engineering. Okay? And that Queen Elizabeth Prize of Engineering, I have been on the jury, by the way. So, like Internet of Things, like in the very first year, Internet and World Wide Web got the prize. Year before last, it was light emitting diodes. Then last year, it was GPS. And you can see all of these have changed. The engineers have built these and they have changed the world, as a matter of fact. So I remember when I got onto the jury, they asked me, what is the future of engineering? So I said, I don't believe in chemical engineering, metallurgical engineering, mechanical engineering, aeronautical engineering, etc. I believe in solution engineering. You have been given a problem, build an artificial heart or bridge or whatever, etc. So engineers' ability to pick up all the skills and build it together is going to be important. But in solution engineering, it is extremely important that we look at the problems that need to be solved. So I'm going to come to something very, very important for India, by the way. India has huge challenges. We are still a poor country. Large fraction stays in villages. And COVID has hit them even harder. Poorer have become even more poor. and so on. And therefore, we have to worry about them. And therefore, the solution that we create, I think what we should be doing is making high technology work for the rich is very easy. Making low technology work for the poor is very easy. But making high technology work for the poor is very important. So I was looking at, I was very impressed with what our Walchand College of Engineering is giving as courses, and I'm happy to see that you are using, I mean, you are training in robotics, in automation, in IoT, in virtual reality, augmented reality, in this program that is going to be used. I'm very happy about it. But these tools, where do we use actually? All right, as far as India is concerned. I'll give you some examples. In my mother's name, I have created what is called as Anjani Mashalkar Inclusive Innovation Board, because she was very keen that we must do something for the poor, science for the poor, and so on. So I created that. And we give awards where engineers have made high technology work for the poor. I'll give you 2-3 examples. One of them, for example, is Senthil Mahajan. As you know, there are women in rural villages, and when they become pregnant, they have to go all the way to the city to get some test done, that and the other, etc., by bus or by whatever means that they have. So this Senthil Murugesan, young boy, he said, why don't I create something which is a wearable, basically, where all the parameters, health parameters will be measured and they will be remotely monitored, all right? And that would mean the BP, the heart rate, the temperature, the oxygen saturation, everything, basically. And you can quite clearly see, because of that monitoring, and this is now in hundreds of villages, what difference it has made, as a matter of fact. In fact, he tells me that in a village, the baby that was born had a record weight, and they celebrated, the entire village celebrated, actually. And what is the cost of that? Just 1 rupee per day. But he's using high technology for that. That is India for you. The rest of the world does not. Take second, we had COVID. We had suddenly ICU beds were in short supply. People were dying in actually ambulances. So Mudit, young fellow, Mudit, what he did, Mudit Dandavate, what he did was, given a bed, can I convert it in a stand-up ICU within 5 minutes? So how do you do that? You use IoT sensor-based systems, which is pushed under the bed, as a matter of fact. And you can measure all the critical parameters to 98.4% accuracy and remotely. And at a cost which is 10% of the ICU. Can you just imagine? And this has been used not only all over Maharashtra, but all over India. Not only that, but there are now international organizations which are asking you to set up such devices which can be just slipped under the bed, or for remote monitoring in Africa, in Bangladesh, and so on and so forth. Our young fellow, Mudit Dandavate, has actually done it. You can see application for this. And the last one, for example, in 2019, we gave this award to Bandicoot. What is Bandicoot? As you know, manual scavengers, they die very early. They die in the age of 30 because they are exposed to all sorts of things, basically. And it's a crime on humanity, as a matter of fact. So these fellows said, the word manual itself is bad. What does that mean? That means, why should a man be in the hole? There should be a machine in the hole. And man should operate it. And they created robots which can go and sort of clean everything. Okay? Then you will say, oh my God, but that manual scavenger was making his living out of doing the manual scavenging job. What happens to him? No. What they do is that they train them to operate those robots. Now you can just see. Let us say there is a manual scavenger. His daughter or a son is in a school. And somebody asks, what does your father do? They would have previously said manual scavenging. What do they say now? Very proudly they say he's a robot operator. Can you see? This is social transformation. I'm just giving you 3 examples of Anjani Mashalkar Awards. And these are all engineers, by the way. These are going to be the future engineers. For science must solve, technology must transform, and innovation must impact. And you can see how these will be. So I've given you, in my brief talk, an idea about where the world is going to move, how the education has to change, what are the basic attributes of engineers, and what are the problems that we have to solve. I would like to end by giving you 5 Mashalkar mantras, particularly for the students, which have helped me in my life. The first is, aspirations are your possibilities. Keep them high. If you aim at Everest, at least you will reach Kanchenjunga. But if you aim at Kanchenjunga, you might not even reach Hanuman Tekri. And if you aim at Hanuman Tekri, you will be where you are. So keep them high. And I'm very happy to see that young people today have very high aspirations. For example, I was talking to some young people, and I'm very proud of our education system, by the way. I'm a product of Indian education system, all of us are. So I was telling them, look at Satya Nadella, he became CEO of Microsoft. Look at Sundar Pichai, he became CEO of Google. So you should become like that. Then one student got up and says, sir, politely, he called me sir. He said, sir, I don't think you understand what is going on in our mind. I said, what do you mean by that? So he says, sir, your generation, somehow or the other go to US. The next generation, somehow or the other go to US and get a good job, like in Microsoft. The next generation, go to US, get a good job and become CEO. Not our generation. We want to create our own Microsoft, our own Google here in India. You get the point? So therefore, I'm very happy to see the startup movement in India. Today, we are known for creating one unicorn per week. Unicorn is $1 billion market cap, 7,500 crore. All right. And I looked at all the 88 unicorns and said, where do they come from? They come from IITs, IIMs? No. 50% of them come from tier 2, tier 3 cities. They come from cities like Sangli, for example. So I think we should have the aspiration as Walchand College of Engineering that will create those unicorns. That is what I mean by it. The second is hard work. Particularly for young people, I want to emphasize that like instant coffee, there is no instant success. You know, I am just reached 79. I can tell you I'm working 24/7, day after day, month after month, week after week, year after year, and will do so till the last day of man. That is the second Mashalkar mantra. The third is there is purpose, perseverance, and passion. You have to have a big purpose. Not for yourself. ज्याला आपण ध्रुवतारा म्हणतो ना तसं. And perseverance is important. It's too early to give up. Winners are never quitters, and quitters are never winners. And you are bound to fail. F-A-I-L, fail. You should reinterpret it. First attempt in learning. Your best guru is your last mistake, as long as you learn from it. That is the third Mashalkar mantra. The fourth is you keep on knocking on doors and they don't open. Create your own doors. All right? Create new opportunities. Find new paths. Don't have to go by trodden. And the last one is that there is no limit to human imagination. There is no limit. I sort of will tell you a story and close my talk. I mean, I remember Professor Siyana Rao Bharatratna is my guru. And I became fellow of Royal Society, by the way. And there are only 3 engineering scientists in 360 years who have become one. And you sign in the same book where Newton has signed, by the way. And I'm the only Maharashtrian who have become fellow of Royal Society and to sign in the same book. So it was a great honor. I called him. He said, not bad. I was very disappointed. Such a great honor. He said, not bad. Then I got some other honors also. Each time he would say, not bad. I became US National Academy of Inventors. I was the first one to become the fellow. I said, at least now he will say, no. He said, not bad. And then I said, sir, what do I have to do to impress you? So this is the lesson I want to leave with the students. He said, Mashalkar, you are climbing on a ladder of excellence. And that ladder has no limit, excepting the limit that you put on your head. Okay? And therefore, this interprets in a different way. No matter what you achieve in life, you have to say, my best is yet to come. And that you should do, whether you are 18 or 88. Every day in the morning, you have to get up and say my best is yet to come, not for just myself, but for society, for my nation, and so on. And you can just imagine if 1.35 billion Indians do it every day in the morning to give the best, what a great nation it will be. So once again, I want to thank you for inviting me to join in this particular celebration. When you celebrate the century, I will not be there, but I'll be looking up and seeing this is where my Walchand College of Engineering is, and it has reached some great heights, not just in NIRAT ranking in India, but around the world. All my best wishes and choicest blessings are with you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I express my sincere thanks to Dr. Mashalkar sir for his kind words and motivational thoughts. Dr. D.T. Shirke sir. Dr. D.T. Shirke is the Vice Chancellor of Shivaji University, Kolhapur. He completed his graduation from Vivekanand College, Kolhapur in year 1985 and post-graduation from Department of Statistics, Shivaji University, Kolhapur in the year 1987. He has around 30 years of teaching and 33 years of research experience. He has completed 5 research projects funded by various national funding agencies. As an outstanding researcher, he has invited various talks and speeches in many conferences, workshops, refresher and orientation courses, both within and outside India. As a researcher of international repute, he has varied research collaborations with and within and outside country. He has worked with various bodies of universities, including the Senate, the Management Council, the Academic Council, Finance and Accounts Committee. He has also worked in the Budget Committee, IQAC, to name a few. Considering his substantial academic and administrative contribution, he was awarded as the Best Teacher Award by Shivaji University, Kolhapur in the year 2011. In recognition of his academic excellence, he was awarded with the Jawaharlal Nehru Memorial Fund Award twice and Summer Research Fellow Academy Award of Indian Sciences of Academy of Indian Sciences, India. He is an elected member of International Statistical Institute, Netherlands, and he is also the member of many professional organizations in statistics. We are glad to have you over, sir. So I request our today's chief guest, Dr. D.T. Shirke, sir, to guide us all. Let's have a big round of applause for our today's chief guest.
A very good evening to all of you. I think on the occasion of 10th graduation day ceremony, we already enjoyed the 2 very important and excellent speeches, one by Honorable Ajit Gulabchand ji, Chairman of Administrative Council. We also have greetings from Honorable MP Sanjay Kaka, Member of Administrative Council. We got in very crude sense a convocation address, though it is not a convocation, you can say graduation day address by Padma Vibhushan Dr. Raghunath Mashalkar, which was an excellent piece of advice to all of us. On the dais, we have the Director of Walchand College of Engineering, Dr. Sawant, the Dean's Academic, Dr. Dharmadhikari, and Control of Examinations of this college, Dr. Kharat. Of the dais, all the faculty members who are present over here, the prize winners, students who have passed out in the recent years, their proud parents and friends. I understand it's a long session of so many speeches, so I will cut down it to my shortest possible time and will not prolong so that you should not feel that I should stop early. First of all, my congratulations to all the young graduates who have completed their undergraduate as well as postgraduate from one of the reputed institutes in this region, which has completed 75 years. And it's a great coincidence that we have been celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. So we also have been celebrating Amrit Mahotsav of Walchand College of Engineering. On behalf of university, I extend warm greetings to all the stakeholders of Walchand College of Engineering on this particular occasion. Friends, this particular college has already created a brand and has been serving from 75 years, almost more than 7 decades, and which has served the nation by providing a trained manpower in almost all corners of this country. I would say not only this country, but even outside the country as well. So my special appreciations to all the teaching faculty who have been imparting a quality education to these young minds since many years. And of course, congratulations to all the alumni who have taken the name of Walchand College of Engineering from Sangli to almost all corners of this particular globe. Already, the Chairman Administrative Council has shared his views and he passed one remark, and I appreciate that remark, and I put at the cost of repetition, I place it before you once again. He said that keep on learning continuously, because I know, and you also admit that learning is the process which starts the day, the moment we start realizing what is this world, and it never ends as long as we breathe our last. So keep learning. But when you say that what exactly is to be learned, then I think the sky is the limit. But in your profession, what are the updates? For example, if you consider a graduate who has completed his graduation from Walchand College of Engineering, say 10, 15 years before, the student may not be knowing about what exactly is a machine learning, what exactly is a deep learning, and so on and so forth. But now he must be practicing all those things. And once you enter in this particular profession, there is no compromise, there is no alternative, but you have to learn and go with the time. That exactly is meant by you have to keep on learning. People say that you learn, you unlearn, and then relearn. What exactly means that you should not be satisfied what you have obtained as a knowledge during your 4 years or 4 plus 2 years. That is what Dr. Mashalkar was saying. The second thing is that you being a technocrat, see, you are engineers, so you have various domains of working. And when you work in various domains, you always create something new. A computer scientist creates software. Computer scientist again creates something like a technology. A mechanical engineer creates some kind of machine, and so on and so forth. But you know, we are in the world of linear economy, and we also have to keep in mind certain things. This particular word, the phrase may be new to you. Some of you might be knowing that also. What exactly is a linear economy? Because this particular advice for those engineers who are creators. When you create, what exactly we do? We have 3 phases. Take it, make it, use it, and sometimes throw it. Take it, make it, use it, and throw it. You can take an example of your gadget, mobile gadget. What exactly it does? In the whole process, we take the resources from the nature, we make this particular device, we use it, and finally, we really throw it. But friends, resources are limited and demands are unlimited. And it is our responsibility to give at least some alternative option to this is what it is called as a linear economy. What exactly is required? Sometimes people say that you try to modify it by saying that take it, make it, use it, and then recycle it. So when it comes to the word recycle means we immediately recall the plastic. But see that when you recycle it, again you are converting into the one which again somewhere you will have to throw it. Precisely in contrast to all these things, there is a term which is called as a circular economy. And what does it say? It says that take it, make it, use it, and reuse it. So when I say reuse it, you don't have to recycle, you have to reuse it. Imagine a device, for example, the one which we are all familiar with, mobile. When you think that you are fed up with the technology, you simply have to update the technology, not the device. When you are fed up with the inside battery of the mobile, you don't have to throw the mobile, but replace the battery. And if you think about a technology, if you think about a design which always makes it happen to replace one of the components so that the basic device will remain same for years together. And therefore, your reuse will be the phenomenon. What I'm saying is not a new. Conceptually, the word and the phrase might be new, but definitely it is not new. It is our tradition. And tradition in villages, in the cities, we have been using it. There is no time, otherwise I would have given n number of examples. But this particular term, circular economy, is the future of this particular globe, I would say. Not a country, but the entire globe. If you do not do, I think every year we are realizing there is a 0.5, 1 degree increase to the last year. And this year, I think it is highest. The last 100 years or more than that, we did not experience such a huge temperature, and every district is experiencing. So at least we should be aware of what should we prepare. We should prepare, the technology should be such that it should be reusable, and that is the biggest challenge before all the Indians, I would say. The second point that I would like to precisely put before you is this particular institution. I'm told that a good number of alumni, they have come forward and they have established prizes and they have created corpus. The students who would be getting the awards are not students of this particular institute, but they are alumni of that particular institute, I would say. Because the role of student is transferred to the alumni, and now you are alumni. So it is giving back. May not be today or tomorrow or up next year, but sometime you should feel that you should extend a helping hand to the student who is learning in this particular, who is taking education in this particular institution. So you can recall your days in this particular institution, maybe after 10 years, 15 years, or whenever you feel like so. And as a responsibility, as a responsible alumni, you should also extend the helping hand to this particular institutes and create, or at least add, maybe epsilon, you know what the meaning of epsilon, to that particular corpus, and see that every student who is taking education gets some kind of support while taking the education. And if that is done, I think you have done the great work. The third thing is that we were talking about the various activities on campus, and I'm delighted and impressed to see the aggressive use of ICT in this particular institution. Your examination system is almost atomized 100%, I would say, except a student is writing a paper, otherwise there is no mechanical work. Even a teacher, when assesses, sits before the machine anywhere, anytime, and using the credential, the assessment is being done. It continues up to the award of degree. So that is really appreciating work. I must appreciate and congratulate the director and his entire team for taking this ICT in a very aggressively manner. And tomorrow, when national education policy is to be implemented, you might be having n number of things, but you may not be having enough manpower. So as an alternative to, it's not a substitution, but at least an alternative to getting the same quality, you will have to adopt this particular ICT, and there is no way. I'm glad to see that the placement record of this particular institution is almost 100%. Means those who are interested to catch a job, grab a job, they are getting a job. Those who would like to pursue their higher education, they are getting a progression, means they are going for a master's or PhD and so on and so forth. Those who would like to start their own business, I think they are becoming entrepreneur also. So I congratulate all the students for their achievement, and not only in their capacity, but the achievement and taking the name of WCE to the all corners of this particular nation. Higher education is changing drastically, and every year you find some or other change. We were discussing about a credit system, Now the nation is talking about academic bank of credits. We were talking about the autonomous institution, and now there is a regulation passed by University Grants Commission, and of course, a national education policy saying that there will be only 3 kinds of institution in India. The first is research intensive university, maximum research, teaching intensive university, and the third one is degree awarding autonomous colleges. I think Walchand College is just entering the, or I would say that is aspiring for degree awarding autonomous college, and in the sooner or later they will be taking a one step towards this degree awarding autonomous colleges. I would say that that should not be the end of the story, but I would, my best wishes to Walchand College of Engineering to jump to at least a teaching intensive university or research intensive university. With this, the great wish towards this particular institution, to the great institution, and wishing you all the success as far as those who are pursuing their education, and wishing all the best for those who have entered into their career. Thank you very much for inviting me for gracing this particular function. My congratulations to once again to all the stakeholders of this particular, including Board of Management, Administrative Council, all the bodies and authorities of this particular institution for imparting a quality education and taking each and every care while imparting such quality education among the stakeholders. Thank you very much and have a nice day. And Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra.
Thank you so much, sir. Your guidance will definitely help us in our future lives.
Now, I request all the volunteers to please distribute the stools to all the head of the departments present over here.
Now moving on to the most awaited moment of the day. Yes, it is a time to acknowledge the talent of our beaming students. This year, 8 gold medals will be conferred on toppers from each of the undergraduate programs and among all of the postgraduate programs of academic year 2019-20 and 2020-21.
The students and the parents who are present on behalf of them can collect the awards, and for the students who are absent, only their names would be announced.
So now, for declaring the prizes, I call upon our anchors Maya, Om and Manali.
Good evening everyone. Now I'm going to announce the awards for academic year 2019-20. For Civil Engineering Department, I request to our Honorable Vice Chancellor of Kolhapur University to present the awards. The bronze medal from Civil Department goes to Patil Samruddhi Madhukar. I think she is not available. Moving to the next award. The silver medal from Civil Department goes to Patil Rohan Rajendra. The next award, the gold medal from the Civil Department goes to Kodihal Vishwesh Hanumantrao. Now moving to the Mechanical Engineering Department. For Mechanical Engineering Department, I request to the Honorable Director of Walchand College of Engineering, Sangli, to present the awards. The bronze medal from the Civil Department goes to Dikshit Shreyas Vilasrao. I think he is not available. The next award, the silver medal from the Mechanical Department goes to Dhole Aishwarya Bharat. The gold medal from the Mechanical Department goes to Bhorkar Nishant Vinod. Now moving to the next department. For Electrical Engineering Department, I request to Honorable Dean Academics of Walchand College of Engineering, Sangli to present the awards. The bronze medal from the Electrical Engineering Department goes to Saloke Pooja Balasaheb. The silver medal goes to Shreyas Rahul Vakankar. I think he is not available. Moving to the next award. The gold medal goes to Nishant Tanaji Kadam. For Electronics Engineering Department, I request to Controller of Examination of Walchand College of Engineering, Sangli to present the awards. The bronze medal from the Electronics Department goes to Ajit Sanjay Atarde. The silver medal goes to Allad Shashank Manure. And the gold medal goes to Vinod Sitaram Patil. Now moving to the next department, Computer Science and Engineering Department. I again request to our honorable guest, Vice Chancellor of Kolhapur University, to present the awards. The bronze medal from the CSE department goes to Ghorpade Saurabh Anil. The silver medal goes to Katti Meghna Avinash. Silver medal Abhinav Avinash. The gold medal goes to Nadar Jinesh Selvadasan. Now moving to the next department, Information Technology Department. I request to the Director of Walchand College of Engineering, Sangli, to present the awards. The bronze medal from the IT department goes to Mandge Urvi Ullas. The silver medal goes to Patil Akhil Anil. And gold medal goes to Abhishek Rajendra Kotkar. Now I am going to announce the awards for postgraduate program. For these awards, I request to the honorable guest, Vice Chancellor of Kolhapur University, to present the awards. The bronze medal from the postgraduate program goes to Fadtare Aniket Balasaheb from Civil Structure Engineering. He is not available. Moving to the next award, the silver medal goes to Mukhiya Nihar Jagdish from Computer Science and Engineering. The student is not available. The gold medal goes to Kalekar Rushikesh Vishwas from Civil Structure Engineering.
Awards for overall outstanding performance of year 2019-2020. Gold medal for overall topper BTech goes to Patil Vinod Sitaram from Electronics Engineering Department. Now I request Vice Chancellor of Kolhapur University to hand over the award. Nominations were collected for the Student of the Year and Sportsman of the Year. Student of the Year 2019-2020 goes to Kodihar Vishwesh Hanumantrao from Civil Engineering Department. Now I request Director Walchand College of Engineering Sangli to hand over the award. Sportsman of the Year for the year 2019-2020 goes to Tej Sushant Kulkarni from Civil Engineering Department. Now I request Dean Academics of Walchand College of Engineering to hand over the award.
Now, I am going to announce award winners for the academic year 2020-2021 in undergraduate program for Civil Engineering Department. I request Vice Chancellor Shivaji University Kolhapur to present the awards. The bronze medal goes to Patil Uday Anaso. He is not available today. So moving to the next award, the silver medal goes to Mente Chaitali Rajiv Kumar. And the gold medal goes to Inamdar Prerna Praveen. Now moving to the next department, for mechanical department, I request Director of Walchand College of Engineering to present the awards. The bronze medal goes to Patsore Abhijit Abhay Kumar. I guess he is not available today. The silver medal goes to Deshpande Tejonidhi Raghunath. And the gold medal goes to Bhosle Chetan Nitin. Now moving to the next department, for electrical department, I request Dean Academics, Walchand College of Engineering, Sangli to present next award. The bronze medal goes to Joshi Aditya Santosh. Now the silver medal for All-Rounder Student of the Year UG goes to Agashe Mruga Anil. And the gold medal for final year BTech all programs overall boys topper goes to Kejriwal Tanay Nagendra. For Electronics Department, I request Control of Examination, Walchand College of Engineering to present next award. The bronze medal goes to Bharambe Jagroti Ghanshyam. The silver medal goes to Nathgoda Vaidehi Dilip. And the gold medal for final year BTech all programs overall girls goes to Nandrekar Siddhi Suryakant. For Computer Science and Engineering Department, I request Vice Chancellor Shivaji University to present the awards. The bronze medal goes to Zadav Trishala Anup. She is not available today. So silver medal goes to Daigone Manali Subhash. She is not available today. The gold medal goes to Shivagunde Tanmay Sunil. He is not available today. Now moving on to the next department. For IT department, I request Director of Walchand College of Engineering to present the awards. The bronze medal goes to Parate Krunal Ramesh. Yes, he is not available today. So, silver medal goes to Bari Nikita Suresh. She is not available today. And the gold medal goes to Pagare Prajakta Praveen. She is not available today. Now, for the postgraduate program, the bronze medal goes to Patil Amruta Yashwant from Electronics Department. I request Dean Academics, Walchand College of Engineering to present the award. The silver medal goes to Rokade Mahadev Sitaram from Structural Engineering Department. I request Director of Walchand College of Engineering to present the award. Yes, he is not available today. So, the gold medal goes to Karmalkar Aditya Sachin from Computer Science and Engineering Department. I request Vice Chancellor from Shivaji University to present the award.
Awards for overall outstanding performance of year 2020-2021. Gold medal for overall topper BTech goes to Kejriwal Tanaya Nagendra from Electrical Engineering Department. Now I request Vice Chancellor of Shivaji University Kolhapur to hand over the award. The nominations were collected for the Students of the Year and Sportsman of the Year. Student of the Year for the year 2020-2021 goes to Agashe Mruga Anil from Electrical Engineering Department. I request Director Walchand College of Engineering Sangli to hand over the award. Sportsman of the Year for the year 2020-2021 and the award goes to Sayukta Hemant Dongre from Mechanical Engineering Department. I request Dean Academics of Walchand College of Engineering Sangli to hand over the award.
Thank you everyone. Once again, hearty congratulations to all the graduates and postgraduates. We are all very proud of you. This day signifies new beginning of each and every one of you. Tomorrow, new challenges and opportunities await you graduates that will further test your mettle. As you continue on your journey, may you look back at this moment with great pride and fondness. I request all the dignitaries to please be seated.
Now, I would like to request Tanay Kejriwal from Electrical Department Batch 2020-21 to come on stage for sharing his valuable feedback. Tanay Kejriwal.
A very good evening to everyone present over here and to all those who are watching the live feed. I am first of all very thankful to our college and all the faculty members for giving me this opportunity to speak over here. It gives me immense pleasure to see the smile on the face of my parents, grandparents, everyone in my family, my friends, and my parents are here today. My grandfather, he wanted to join, but due to some health constraints, he is not able to come over here. And the most important thing for which I feel very thankful to this college, he is in the front row taking my photograph, and my mother is also over there. The most important thing what this college taught me, apart from the technical knowledge and everything, is how to be a better human being. See, technical knowledge, what I feel is, being this free source of learning, we can get it from anywhere. But what this college taught me, what this college gave me exposure of, made me who I am today and has trained me to be a better human being, to serve this society. And as engineering taught me that nothing is ideal. So I will inculcate that thing in my life and see that there is a scope of improvement everywhere. Keep improving myself from the things that I have learned from this college, from my friends, from my family, from all the faculty members. Anyone who I met in this college has given some sort of input that has benefited me in my life. I am very grateful for that, and thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Tanay. Now I request Mruga Agashe from Electrical Department, Batch 2021 to come up on the stage for sharing her valuable feedback.
Good evening, everyone, and good evening to all the proud parents of the award-winning students. I would first like to give my grateful thanks to Director of Walchand College of Engineering, Sangli, and entire team WCE for organizing this program, because it was our batch who did not visit the college when we were in 4th year, and we always wanted to come in, have fun, and then be graduated and pass out. But I think that today I just got that opportunity to come and meet and greet all my friends. I had kept 1 hour before this program just to meet my friends, and that was predefined and pre-decided. So I'm really humbled and honored to get this award, the Student of the Year Award of Academic Year 2020-2021, and also the Silver Medal for the Academic Excellence of Electrical Engineering Department. See, when I stepped into corporate world immediately after completing my graduation, I started listening to the words like being empathetic, being resilient, being agile, what agility is. These things started bombarding me. So I just gave a thought upon it, went back and saw that I feel that these things are already inculcated in me. Not just the technical knowledge or not just the electrical engineering stuff that I got from my college, but all these things are already being inculcated by all my professors, my parents, and everybody, not only from my department, but all the inter-department staff, teaching, non-teaching staff also, who have inculcated some or the other value, and I'm taking it forward, and I definitely assure my college and all the staff that I'll definitely create some difference in the world, and work not just for the purpose of working, but to serve the society and create some difference. And I feel that when I was in college, it was like I was in a small cocoon. Everybody was helping me to groom and grow. And when I went out, that caterpillar just became a butterfly, and I would definitely assure that it would fly high, not just like a butterfly, but just more than a butterfly. I would definitely assure it. And looking forward to move ahead. Thanks a lot, everyone. And once again, my heartful and gratitude to all the teachers, non-teaching staff, the head of Department of Electrical Engineering, Training and Placement Officer, everybody, director of my college, and all the professors with whom I have interacted in the journey of my 4 years. Thanks a lot, everybody. It was a very well-spent evening. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Mruga. On behalf of Walchand College of Engineering, Sangli, I would like to extend my most sincere congratulations to all the students of academic year 2019-20 and 2020-21. I wish all the best in all your future endeavors, and may the future bring further success. Now, I would like to request our Dean Academics, Dr. V.D. Dharmadhikari Sir, for presenting his vote of thanks.
Thank you, volunteers. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Shivaji University, Kolhapur, Dr. B.T. Shirke, sir. Honorable Director of our institute, Dr. Savan, sir. Control of Examinations, Dr. Kharat, sir. All functionaries, faculty, students, and their parents. I take this opportunity to sincerely thank the Vice Chancellor, Dr. Shirke sir, for sparing his time and his valuable guidance to the students. We are really blessed and humbled by his presence and the time he spent with us. We also are sincerely thankful to our MP Sanjay Kaka Patil sir for his presence here. And I also express the gratitude and thanks to Dr. Mashalkar sir and our Chairman Administrative Council Ajit Gulabchand for guiding our students. I also thank all the functionaries, HODs, students, and their parents for their presence. Because of your presence, the function has been graced. I also thank the reporters and also online viewers for being with us and encouraging us. Thank you very much, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now we conclude the program with national anthem. So I request all the dignitaries, teachers, parents, students, and everyone present here to stand up. Can we have the audio, video?
Now, I officially declare the end of today's graduation day ceremony. I would like to request all the dignitaries, teachers, parents, students, and volunteers to head towards exam cell premises for the tree plantation ceremony. The tree plantation would be followed by high tea near Saraswati Idol premises, and I would also like to inform that we are having a small cultural event near library stairs at 7 p.m. Thanks a lot.